Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and today I'm going to talk about the film Big Business from 1929. And Merry Christmas. This is kind of my Christmas video. This isn't actually a feature, this is a short film from 1929, the end of the silent era. To explain its Christmasness and why I'm shooting this in front of my wife and I's glorious Christmas tree, as you can see right here, is because this film, Big Business, is about Laurel and Hardy as two door-to-door Christmas tree salesmen in California. This is one of the silent comedies that can always make me laugh. I watched this a couple times recently, and each time it gives me belly laughs. It's just simply hilarious. I think if you look at silent comedy, it was a long time ago, you can find yourself very removed from it in today's modern setting. But Big Business isn't that way. Big Business, as long as comedy is comedy, you will be laughing at a film like Big Business with Laurel and Hardy. Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy are driving around a suburban neighborhood in California delivering Christmas trees door to door. They go to one house and offend a woman and ask if her husband is home, and she is not married, and they said, well, if you had a husband, would he buy this tree? And he doesn't. They go to another house with similar results, and then they go to a grumpy would-be customer played by Jim Finlayson, and he's not really interested in buying the tree, but then they get their tree stuck in the door when he closes the door, so they have to ring the bell again. And then Laurel gets his coat stuck in the door, so they have to ring the bell again, and he gets more and more annoyed till he destroys their tree, so they start destroying his house, and they go for a tit-for-tat kind of comedy where he'll destroy something on their car or one of their trees, and they'll destroy part of his house. And they keep going back and forth throughout. Most of the entire runtime of the film is them going back and forth, destroying each other's property in a mutually decided storm of destruction with comedic results. One of the things I like about this film is it sets up a structure where Laurel and Hardy are trying to sell door-to-door Christmas trees, and they're not very good at it. So you've already established these two guys are not very good salesmen. Really, I could watch a film with them going door-to-door. I'm sure that would be an okay short. This film really comes alive is that when they get to Jim Finlayson's house, the film just stops. It's like the structure was written to this one point and they just went, let's forget how this film is going. It is just about them at this house. The first time I watched it, I was shocked at how long it went with this house and how long the destruction went and how far they would really go with it. And that's really part of the fun of Big Business. Even if you're familiar with silent comedy or aren't familiar with silent comedy, it's kind of surprising that this is what was considered a two-reel comedy. It's about 18 minutes, that they would just stay on this one kind of gag, but it's a great gag to keep having them go back and forth. And it doesn't get old because of the extremes of it. It does remind me of something like currently we have a show like Regular Show where it starts out very normal and they have a normal task and you don't think it's going to be that crazy, and then it has insane results. And Big Business is kind of that, but in the silent era, and so much crazier results than you really expect. And I think that's something I love about this film and what makes it feel so alive to me. The first time I watched it, it was late at night and it just woke me up, gave me such laughter, and each time I watch it you can't help but laugh at this film. It's so hilarious. Apparently, producer Hal Roach has told this story many times. What he said was that they had gotten the permission to use an employee of the studio's house while he was away, and apparently they went into the wrong house and destroyed it. According to Stan Laurel, that is like not true at all, and almost everyone agrees that that is probably not true whatsoever. It's a nice little story, and Hal Roach, he wants to have a folklore to what happened while they're making this film, and it's a cute little folklore, and it seems like even that much more exciting, but it's not really true. And they shot for a while. Actually, they shot this film in December of 1928, and it was released in April 1929, kind of really the end of the silent era. There's always this rumor that this is a film about them selling Christmas trees door to door in the summer, which I think that might be because since it got released on April 20th, 1929, that people saw this in the summer, and so they kind of thought, oh, well, this film takes place in the summer because I am in summer now. That's kind of my own little theory I made up, but I think it's probably kind of accurate. One of the reasons I like it as a Christmas film is really the backdrop of Christmas and this beautiful Christmas tree and Christmas trees in general. There certainly are other good films about Christmas trees. I mean, I guess I'm using it loosely, to be honest with you. I've always really loved this silent short, and I love silent comedies. A lot of what animation and slapstick humor would become with like Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny really started with these films, that they had so much energy, whether you watch Keaton or Chaplin or Laurel and Hardy. And this phase in their career, watching that comedic energy play out throughout this film. And I've seen other Laurel and Hardy films, but none have grabbed me as much as Big Business. It is always considered one of the best examples of slapstick comedy. It was put in the National Film Registry in 1992. It's already a funny film without the majority of the movie going for this tit-for-tat comedy. That same energy you get from something like Jackass, you get from stunt shows, you get from like kind of sophomoric humor. They have so much fun with it and has such a great energy about it. It feels dirty and lowbrow, but it also feels very sophisticated and smart. Big Business combines all the best parts of slapstick comedy together with that, and you get this comedy that you don't really expect all these things to really happen within it, but it gives that to you in such an amazing, chaotic, crazed way that you're like, will this ever end? I've heard people say this is about warring nations in a way, how conflicts can get completely out of control, where he's destroying their car and they're destroying his house, and it's just gotten completely bonkers. It plays in a way that you can put all that meaning into it, but without all that, it is just a beautifully made, amazing slapstick comedy. I highly recommend this film. It is on Hulu, Vimeo, YouTube. The Hulu quality seems to be the worst one from the ones I saw. YouTube has two that are in very good quality. It's 18 minutes of your life and you'll laugh your ass off. You know, part of comedy, when you watch a stand-up, when you watch a comedic film, when your friend tells a joke, is that feeling like, I can't believe they're doing this. And from a film from 1929, giving me that feeling, that's one of the best things about Big Business. I can't believe they're destroying his house. I can't believe how far they're going with this. It's just such an extreme, how they're pushing things out the window, how they're destroying a chimney, how he's ripping apart their car. It keeps going and going and going. But the gags are really smart and well organized, but also chaotic. This is just a gloriously made, wonderful, too real silent comedy, and I can't get it out of my head, and I hope I never will. And anytime people bring up Laurel and Hardy, I'm always like, oh, have you seen Big Business? Because I have to tell them about it, because I just love watching this movie, and it has an infectious energy that I don't think I'll ever shake. I think I will be watching this film throughout my whole life. It is really one of the wonders of silent film comedy, and it's probably one of my favorite Christmas movies, even though it doesn't really have anything to do with Christmas. But if you think in a way we all kind of slightly destroy ourselves emotionally and psychologically throughout this holiday, so in that way, I think Big Business really is kind of a good Christmas movie. Merry Christmas. So if you have seen Big Business and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments and subscribe if you would like to. And I will have a link in the description and probably an annotation to the actual short of Big Business that is on YouTube. I have no affiliation with them, but I thought they presented it in a very, very good quality. If you want to listen to the music, you can. If not, it doesn't really affect the movie, so you can just mute it if you would like to. And thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Also, I'm wearing a regular show Christmas shirt. I don't know if you can see.